What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to look over Nano Dimension and some recent news that dropped. Bear with me, I'm still waking up. We're going to go into some news that dropped today regarding the share repurchase program, and we're going to go into some recent news regarding Murchison. So let's take a look. If you like these videos, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Consider checking out my YouTube membership. If you want some stocks and cryptos, check out the links down below, and let's take a look at what's going on with Nndm. So first off, let's look at this news that dropped on Nano Dimension's investor relations site. They're basically mentioning that Murchinson's owner, Mark Bistrisser, his case is scheduled for continued hearing processes during the rest of 2023 before Canada Capital Markets Tribunal. And he's been accused of profiting by violating public retail investors' interest in Canadian securities law. And this hearing on illegal trading activity negates their good standing for involvement in public companies. And the Ontario Securities Commission is basically seeking orders that the owner of Murchison resigns from director or officer positions, prohibits his appointment to any further positions, has the OSC or Ontario Securities Commission registration terminated, among many other things. Now, one thing to realize is with Nano Dimension and this Murchison attempted takeover, of course the owner of Murchison wasn't one of the recommended directors. And on this article here, it shows Murchison's director candidates for Nano Dimension, of which of course the owner isn't mentioned. So just in case you were wondering what this has to do with Nano Dimension, it might still affect Nano Dimension. However, keep in mind that Murchison's owner, this Mark Bistrisser guy, or whatever the hell his name was, he basically wasn't on the list of candidates for Nano Dimension regardless. And by the way, if you haven't voted yet, make sure you cast your vote for Nano Dimension. If you're a shareholder, I recommend not voting for Murchison. I think there's been a lot of evidence that they are doing dirty things behind the scenes. Of course, here you have their owner getting into some hot water with Canada. And in a previous video, I go over how Murchison created this shareholder vote a while ago, and they basically skewed the voting numbers because they have nearly 10% ownership in Nano Dimension. And because there was such a low turnout of votes on their shareholder vote, keep in mind this wasn't with Nano Dimension, this was just their own separate shareholder vote that they did a while back now. You know, they skewed the numbers because of their shares being the majority of the shares that actually voted on the subject. So of course they chose Murchison over Nano Dimension. But I'll leave you a link down below so you know what I'm talking about, and I'll leave a link to the video going over what happened there. But basically, going back by these OSC allegations over Murchison's owner, they said that he failed to deal fairly, honestly, and in good faith. He created and carried out an illegal and abusive short selling scheme, and he hid from Canopy the benefits of the transactions to Saline, which is another company that Murchison is involved with, and basically did things that go against the public's interest. That's the allegation that the OSC is giving Murchison's owner. Now, what's that mean for Nano Dimension and this attempted takeover by Murchison Company? I'm honestly not completely sure if this will even affect it or not. But to me, this shows that Murchison cannot be trusted. Its very owner seems corrupt and now is dealing with these Canadian security laws. But we will see what this actually has to do with Nano Dimension in the end. Let me know in the comments below though, does this make Murchison less likely to have success trying to take over Nano Dimension? Let me know what you think in the comments. But next up, let's go over some other news that recently dropped today. Nano Dimension just recently received the Israeli court approval. Now they can continue with their previously announced share repurchase plan. And Yoav Stern, the CEO and chairman, said, "We continue to fulfill our previous promise to investors, which was temporarily held back due to the time expiration of the existing Israeli court approval. We thank the court for its flexibility in extending the repurchase plan period. We're happy to act in a way that both improves the company's balance sheet and benefits its shareholders." Because this purchase plan is approved, they will likely purchase some shares, but I kind of doubt they're going to go with the full repurchase program and purchase all shares. There's nothing tying them to that. To me, this is partially, just trying to put some positive press out there for Nano Dimension. And we'll see over time how much shares they actually repurchase. We can check out the SEC filings down the road and see what they do. But let me know what you guys think, because remember, this is an extension of a previously approved share repurchase program that was back in August of 2022. And they obviously didn't purchase all the shares in the previously extended repurchase program. Otherwise, this would be a new repurchase program, but it's essentially just an extension of a previous plan that they already had in place. But let me know what you think. Do you think they're going to drag their feet on this repurchase program? Do you think they're going to get down and just start buying shares up? Or do you think this is just purely positive press? There are times that Nndm tends to just put some things out there to try to put themselves in a positive light, and the CEO is definitely not shy, posting out YouTube videos, for example, and posting nearly daily press releases on their investor relations tab. So what I think personally is they will purchase some shares, but it may likely be less than we expect. Now, next up, let's look at the chart. We have something to look over there. Seems like a whole lot of sideways action. And like I've said in my previous video, Nndm has been extremely sideways since 2022. And we do have a somewhat important level to watch. This is like the middle point of this channel that it's been trading in. And you'll notice recently that we've been utilizing it as support. We broke out of it finally back here in June of 2023. Went on a little run. We created a new high, but then after that we pulled back. And we also recently broke our 50 MA, which by the way, we did see a golden cross, but the thing with this company is it does cross quite often. You'll see right here we had 4 points where we were just unsure where we were going. We had a golden cross, back to a death cross, back to a golden cross, then back to a death cross again. And now we're back in a golden cross again. But it is good to see that we are now trading above the 50 and 200 MA, and they are pointing in an upwards direction, which is bullish. And what I really want to see out of Nndm is a break out of this 330 area. If we can break this, we'll be pushing new highs. And next up would be a potential break out of this sideways channel we've been in for so long, right around 360. And one thing that I want to show you actually that I think is more important on this stock at least than the 50 and 200 MA cross is the 50, 100, and 200 EMAs. Now the 50 did already break over the 100 and 200 EMA. We're just waiting for the 100 to break over the 200, the green line to break the red line. I think this break above can push Nndm further. It's just a matter of a little bit more positive momentum. Now let me know where you guys think Nndm is going over the mid to long term, and will this share purchase program approval give them a continued push over the short term? Keep in mind we have CPI and other inflation data coming in just a couple of weeks here, and that'll give us an idea of where the Fed is likely going. Will they raise rates again and further push down small caps, or will they get to talking about a pivot? I think one last rate hike is possible before we finally get to that inflation target that they want and starting to see weakening in wages. But thanks as always for watching, guys. Let me know how you feel about Nndm, this Murchison news, this share buyback news, and how are you feeling about the chart? Do you think a breakout is just around the corner? I think based on the timeline of the Fed and where inflation's at, and of course wages, I do think we have a couple of months until we may see a breakout out of that previous resistance and a move upwards, finally a move out of this sideways channel that we've been trading at for over a year. But let me know what you guys think about what's going on. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and tune in later today. I'm going to either be doing a Clean Spark video or giving you guys an update on what's going on with Voyager Digital. Enjoy the rest of your day and take it easy.